Hey, Todd, Scrum is hard and disruptive. Did you know that?
Yeah. And we're validating that almost 20 years after Ken wrote this paper that it still is.
Yeah, so it's a new episode. We're on number 13. Can't believe we're getting close to the end. Let's jump right into it. Self-managing teams are extremely productive when they work closely with the customer to derive the best solutions to a need. They and the customer are even more productive. And that's our episode for today. And like Skeletor running back into the castle. The more you know. And until next time, He-Man. You know, it's like kind of an obvious statement, right?
Yeah. You know, this self-managing teams are extremely productive statement. I sometimes think we forget about this, and we forget about this, the definition of what it means to be a self-managing team and why we get productivity from that. I think of this is not directly the Ken statement, but he said something similar to this, right? What Scrum gets you is, you know, a sprint length is 1 month or less, right? That's what the Scrum guide says. And what we make the deal of is we're going to select a little bit of work. We're going to go do it, and you're going to leave us alone. And then we're going to come back and we're going to show everybody what happened, right?
Yeah.
And so that idea behind we own our own work, Ryan, how good does it feel when you own your own work and someone's not standing over your shoulder saying, do this now, or like nitpicking everything you do? It's a group of professionals that agree to build things with the highest quality of possible and to work together to be able to do that. That's really it. That this boundary, this sprint really says, we're going to select a little bit of work to do, and we're going to have a goal associated with that work. And you're going to let us go do it as a team. And that really, that feeling of team, that feeling of us owning something, it reminds me a little bit of Drive by Dan Pink, that autonomy angle to this autonomous team that we have. It makes people extremely productive, right?
Coercion just doesn't work. And we've seen that proven over. I mean, right now that battle's playing out. So it's March of 2024. So if you're watching this years from now, maybe this has been resolved. Leave us a comment about how the battle's worked out. But you see organizations and companies trying to force people back into the office and telling people where they're going to work from and the tools they're going to use and the hours they're going to do it within. And the resistance to that is just so heavy and expensive. You know, HR departments can tell you stories about, you know, great talent leaving because of these mandates and these rules, where if you let people organize around the work, decide how best to do the work, give them everything they need to deliver, trust them to get the job done, step in when they need to, when they've hit a boundary or a constraint. But in reality, they're managing that. If you've hired a team of professionals, beautiful things can happen. And if they include a customer, amazing things can happen.
Yeah, and that reminds me of like the old adage that you hear about product owners with developers, right? Don't be an information funnel to the customer.
Yeah.
Connect your developers, connect the self-managing people that are doing and building the work with a customer, and magic happens, right? That's not to say that a product owner, as we just were talking about, shouldn't say no. It's just you need to connect. And we work with we work with several companies, and this is the focus right now. How do we connect our teams directly with our customers? Because the insights and the things that you see helps you to build the best solution, right? There's empathy to a customer. They understand a real customer need and not just something fabricated by management and thrown in their product backlog.
Well, I think one of the more impactful discussions we've had with a client recently, Todd, involved how they move from one particular platform to another. Like, what's the journey of a customer as opposed to what each organization wanted? Yeah. And it was just when they brought that into the forefront, I think some really neat solutions and ideas came up. And so, yeah, I think Ken again has hit a home run here that self-managing teams are extremely productive. I'll put a caveat there. They need to learn how to do this skill because, again, teamwork is a skill. Christopher Avery wrote a really good book, and I think the title is Teamwork is a Skill. And I think Avery is right. Ken's right. That this is a skill that needs to be developed. But if you can build this type of maturity into your team, they're incredibly productive. And if you keep that customer at the center of what that team is managing and organizing around, they're far more productive because they're actually delivering an impact, right? The value just flows from that.
Endless possibilities with this. To your point, though, this isn't something that may be inherently in the people that you work with. It needs harnessed, it needs built, it needs, right. And quite frankly, not everybody is capable of it. We've all seen on sports fields that one player that is really, really, really good, but not able to be a good teammate, right? And that can break all of this down. So this is something that needs harnessed in organizations. This is something that a Scrum Master, a really good Scrum Master, which we believe there's still a necessity for, will get you to this point where a team can self-manage, right?
Yeah. You know, the last analogy I'll give here, and then we'll wrap this up. You know, it's almost like taking my 7-year-old daughter, putting her in my Ford F-150 and telling her to drive it.
Yeah.
I mean, but
the whole family's in.
Yeah, we're in danger, right? I'm in danger. This is not a good scenario, but how many organizations have we seen, Todd, will take, you know, they'll put their people through a 2-day Scrum course and say, cool, you're self-organizing, you're self-managing now, go kill it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, wait a minute, you just gave the 7-year-old keys to an F1 or an F-250. Mm-hmm. Like, this is crazy. Like, we need to build up to this. This is where even like the management argument, management builds the boundaries and constraints that these teams manage within. And so it's just this, it's a skill set, it's a cultural shift, it's a management mindset shift. There's a lot more to it than just throwing the keys at a 7-year-old and saying, all right, go drive this massive truck. It's maturity, it's growth, it's skill, it's gaining skill, it's coaching, it's teaching, it's mentoring. But if you build this environment, the human flourishing that comes from it is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Cool.
It does take investment.
All right. It's another Scrum is Hard and Disruptive with the Miller and the Ripley. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss any of these videos. Click that bell. You don't want to miss these. We got some even more ideas that are popping up too. Check us out on the socials. X, formerly known as Twitter, and LinkedIn are where we're most active. Some videos are going to pop up. It's our free Scrum 101 and EBM 101 courses. No excuses. Check out those playlists. Get your certification. Implement these ideas in your organizations and see how well you're doing. Be sure to leave your comments below. Ask your questions. Let us know how these videos are working. Your comments fuel the channel. For Todd, I'm Ryan. Go forward, do some great Scrum things. We'll see you next time.